Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know my name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And welcome to my continuing series of the NFL Top 50 Positions. And today's episode will focus on the defensive back. That's right, the corners, the free safety, strong safety, safeties, defensive backs, however you want to call them, they all culminate into this giant group. Now, we all know, as with my other videos, the evolution of the game has become more of a pass-centric league. Defensive backs have become a vital role in defenses as the linemen are getting bigger and stronger. The quarterbacks are getting more agile with huge cannons as arms. They can throw 50, 60 yards in the air on a single throw. And the receivers are being speedy and all that. The defensive backs have to match that speed. Be able to defend passes, pick off the ball, maybe lay out some ferocious hits. It's like running lots. One of these guys that when I watched him play, he would lay individuals out. I mean, he was just a force of nature back there, and you did not want to cross his path. But before I dive into all of that, if you could go ahead, smash that thumbs up for me, give me a like, especially like the content I provide you. It really pleases you two guys to help promote this channel out. You can also subscribe. I love you guys review my work. And I mean, if you subscribe, it does cost you a dime. It helps me provide more entertainment value for you. Now, with these my top 50, there's a few guys that I probably wouldn't put up here, then realize some of their stats as really culminate them as being top 50. But there's a huge amount of personnel out there. I mean, of course, you got Night Train Lane, you got Neon Dion, Prime Time himself up in here. I think the majority of his career I thought he was overrated, but he always backed up his talk. Mel Blount. I mean, there's just a plethora of individuals, and especially certain decades where they really thrived in that aspect. But in this top 50, there will be 30 Hall of Famers in this list. So 30 to 50 are in the Hall, which is phenomenal. 9 AFL champions, 19 NFL champs, 44 Super Bowl champions, 9 Defensive Players of the Year. You even have a Super Bowl MVP in here. And of course, 23 All AFL, 277 All Pros, 27 AFL All-Star selections, 326 Pro Bowl selections, 40 members of the All-Decade teams, 2 that are part of the 50th, 7 for the 75th, and 13 for the 100th anniversary team. And you had one player that was in all 3 of them. So this is a very inclusive group. Even a member on here is the only player to play in both a Super Bowl and a World Series. You probably know him. I've already mentioned his name. That's right. Deion Sanders is the only professional athlete to play in both the World Series and the Super Bowl. Now, it wasn't the same year, but he's the only player to ever do that. And Deion was one of these two-sport athletes at the time frame where they're kind of somewhat popular. Him and Bo Jackson really led that mark. Because we all know Bo knows. But, yeah, he wasn't really that good of a baseball player either. I mean, he did play 9 years in the pros. Bounced around a little bit. He made the World Series with the Yankees. And then, his NFL career, he definitely bounced around a lot. But I put him in here as the Atlanta Falcon because this is where he really personified himself at the time frame. But enough of me jamming on and throwing out some spoilers out there. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. As you're watching my other top 50 position or videos, you notice that the positions are not ranked alphabetically, but the first year they start playing, and we go on from there. In terms of the defensive backs, you didn't really see the evolution of this until the split from 2A to start doing individual sports. So it's not really to the 1950s where defensive players actually became a specialty. And you'll see more of modern day players in here than you do the old school guys. But you'll see a lot of teams have a lot of players in here that that part shouldn't be in because you wouldn't think of them being a highly talented defensive core or defensive back core, but all of them had pretty good defensive backs, especially during some Super Bowl runs. I mean, so he has a few Steelers in here. But enough spoilers. Let's get to this list, and I'll see you on the other side. I hope you enjoyed that little presentation there, and a lot of big names on that list. Some huge hitters and whatnot. What surprised me the most is there's 4 Cardinals on that list. I mean, the Cardinals are not a team they expect to have great defensive backs, especially how many years that franchise has really struggled, no matter where they called home. They have very few playoff appearances when they were in St. Louis. The only championship came when they were in Chicago. They had Super Bowl appearance when they were labeled as Arizona. So this Cardinals franchise hasn't been very successful overall, but it's the oldest franchise in the NFL, literally. But only having 4 in that list is kind of shocking. And some of them else I wasn't really too surprised on, except for maybe Detroit. But that's the thing. You never know where your star players are going to come out of. But as you know, any of my lists, there's always a cutting room floor edition. And this cutting room floor edition has a lot of names on here that I really want to put. Like I said, I want to put up there because some of their stats just didn't quite match up. And includes like Charles Tillman. I mean, this guy was just. He didn't really have many Pro Bowls or all Pro selections, but he's just one guy you don't want to run around next to because he had the tendency to punch out the ball. It's part of that very vaunted defense that really solidified the turnovers and resurrected the Monsters of Midway mantra in Chicago. Eric Allen was another quality player that did a lot of things. They had Darren Woodson, Troy Vincent, Rodney Harrison, Ty Law. So there's a lot of quality players in this 150. You had the 8 Hall of Famers, which complete the list of Hall of Famers. 2 AFL champs, 2 NFL champs, 33 Super Bowl champions. 2 NFL Defensive Players of the Year, 8 All AFL, 132 All Pro selections. There's even a one All WFL selection. That's right, somebody in the World Football League did actually extremely well. Short time frame, that league was actually up and running. AFL All-Star selections, 190 Pro Bowl selections to include 11 members of all-decade teams. So this will have a lot of names in here that did very well in a lot of terms of their aspects, whatnot. But I'll go ahead and let you guys enjoy this selection as well, and I'll see you shortly. Thank you for sticking around and enjoying that selection of the next 50. And for me, the fact that 5 Patriots made this list was astounding, especially towards the end during their dynasty run, basically the modern day dynasty for the NFL. At how many defensive backs the Patriots actually had, how great defenses the Patriots had to help keep the Tom Brady charging in there and doing his thing. And all other surprises with the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Dolphins all having 4, including the Broncos. Of course, they were known for the Mile High No Fly Zone. But all in all, the ones that really took the cake for the most selection in both lists for the top 100, the Denver Broncos, they had 7 members on both in total. So it's just one of these things. You're playing that Mile High. I guess you just have to start defending really well. But there you go. Those are my list. I really hope you guys really enjoyed them. It did take me a little bit longer to kind of, not really a little bit longer, but took me some time to put these lists together and weed out how I'm going to put the top 50 over that. Next time I do one of these videos, it will be for the kickers and punters, and it'll be the last of my positions. I won't include long snappers, so that's just too specific of a position to really kind of pinpoint, hey, this is how we're going to do this. even though that the last three positions of an NFL roster is always those three: the kicker, punter, and long snappers. But I'm not going to do the long snappers. It's going to be kickers or punters. I'll put them together. We'll have the top 50 of that. And you may or may not have a next 50 because it all depends on how many I can find that are really present themselves. Because there are a few of those positions that few kickers and punters that I've already mentioned already. Like George Blanda, Graza were two phenomenal kickers, but they're already in here in other positions. There's a couple punters already in this defensive back routine. So just let you know how the NFL has really evolved from doing, hey, you do like multiple, do 5 positions, go, to now where you get guys that's all they do. It's just kick. Adam Vinatieri will probably be on that list for sure. I mean, the guy's almost Mr. Automatic. So, but I'll get that list to you guys as soon as possible. And once I am done, I'll also generate my top 5 teams. I try to think of an even way to doing this, but I don't think there's any way unless I do like a 6 team of the current players or like the guys to watch out for, because there's a lot of talent out there. It's like Trayvon Diggs, I want to put on this list, but he's only been in since 2020. But he had a phenomenal year last year, so he's definitely one of these guys you got to watch out for. He's going to be if he keeps up that trend, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I may end up doing one just to be specific for the current players. And this is the current players. These guys be on this 6 team. Still debating whether or not to do that aspect, or kind of integrate in with the rest of the maybe top 5, and then do like I don't know. Still battling back and forth how I want to do this as I continue to make these lists. I'm adding these players to these teams, and I keep changing how I want to do it. So just bear with me. Maybe sooner or later I'll stop being indecisive and just go, this is what I'm doing, deal with it, and go. But anyhow, I mean, just let me know down below what you think of these lists. Who did I leave off? You think I should have added? Which guy that's not in top 50 should have been in there? I know with these lists, these are not perfect. Everyone has their own best idea who is the best, who's the Hall of Famer, who's the All Stars, and who are just the scrums. Everyone has all that in their minds, but just let me know down below what you think. There you go. Once again, you hit that thumbs up. You can also share with your friends and family. It really helps support this channel out. And of course, once you subscribe, hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.